Do you need to fix that? All right, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for coming to work today. We are going up. Hey, had a good day today. We had a good training today with Tiago, but we did about 7 grand VPG. Yesterday, 270 total, but we did 167. Jaime, 27,000. Randy, 25,000. I have a feeling this is going to be your year, Randy. Tony, 14,000. Nas doubled down with a 22 and a 25. And Paul, 20,000. And Patrick with a 31,000. Just a minor thing. The kids' room, they're going to start getting ready for the renovations. There's some stuff down there if you want to buy. If you want to buy the chairs and tables, that's like $20.
The kids' chairs?
Yeah, there's a TV. There's a TV down there. It's either $4 or $40. You guys want? If there's something you want down there, just let me know. And but we're gonna be. You guys can have it, I guess, or we'll toss it. But anyway, I'm very proud. We're very lucky to have Tiago do a training. You know, we're very lucky to have Tiago as a trainer. I sometimes, I listen to him like going in and closing deals, and I'm like, you're good. I really mean that. And so he's going to do a training on
owners and body language, basically. I wasn't sure which way to go, so I'll go a little bit of each. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming here, and let me take this out of the way. So before I start, I just would like to touch real quick on something that I did training here. This is my 3rd time in like 8 years, so it's not something I do it all the time. But my first training here, we didn't record, and I don't know who was here. I know Ashley was here, Jack was here, but it's been like 4 or 5 years. And it was basically about habits and setting up goals. So I hope that you already have your goals set for 2019. It's a great time, New Year's, to start that. But that training was basically about a 10-year plan, a 10-year goal. You know, how would you like to be 10 years from now? How old are you going to be? Where you want to be? Where you want to work? What kind of car you want to drive? And that's been almost 5 years. So I did that in my other training too. Now we have 5 years to go. And in these first 5 years, I think I came a long way. A lot of positive things happened in my life. A lot of things that I had to read and I achieved. So did Ashley. I see Ashley now as my boss. He was a salesperson back then. Don is Spay and everybody. So I hope that I had a positive impact for everyone. And I recommend everyone to do a 10-year plan. For me, I'm going to redo my 10-year plan today in front of everybody so everybody can give me a little pressure if I can't achieve. So May 17, 2029, my goal is that's my last day working. Okay, so that's my 10-year goal. 10 years from now, I want to quit my job, and at least a year or two I want to take and go around the world. So please write down your 10-year goals. How are you going to be 10 years from now, and how you want to look like every aspect of your life. Okay, jump right into owners and body language. So, most of you know my son, Lucas, so he's everything for me, but thank you. So basically, the reason why I'm using him is as an example. He loves playing chess. My dad taught him chess when he went to Brazil, and he knows how to move all the parts and everything, but he's 5 years old, right? So he loves his screen time as well, so when I don't let him do anything, he's like, Dad, can I play some chess? And I'm like, okay, go on my computer. And you can actually choose the levels, right? Mm-hmm. So there's one there that they only have one move ahead. The computer only thinks one move ahead. And my son plays it, and he gets to some checkmate sometimes. And the first time, I couldn't believe it. He's like, Dad, I got it. I'm like, what? But it's one move ahead the computer is thinking only, right? So when we play 38 moves ahead. So I relate that to first-time buyers and owners. In a sense that when you take a first-time buyer and you follow the process, on the end, they should fall into place. If you follow the process. At a point that someone that never sold timeshare in their life, a single deal, can teach you guys how to sell in Orlando. And they're successful at it, they're great at it. But think about it, right? So it's a process to be followed. With owners, completely different. With owners, completely different animal. So every little thing with owners make a difference. There's a couple things that you need to touch on, in my opinion, such as reverse economics, maintenance fees. Unless are you folks happy owners? Yes, I'm so happy, then maybe you don't touch it. But if there is any push there, any body language. So with owners, So talking about a little bit back and forth with body language and selling owners, right? So with owners, you start from the beginning, I think. I think everybody should take a moment before they go greet the guest and try to be in a good vibe, like visualize something good and think about the success and go greet them. I think you should look into their eyes. I think you should have a good handshake. I know some of you don't even do a handshake, and I don't agree with that. I think some people take a plane and they travel for hours just to do a handshake. So I think you have to have a handshake, and a handshake is a funny thing when you look at body language. There is the Indians that they do a very soft handshake. There's the Mormons. Kenny's not here, but I was going to ask him if he was here to explain that. But the book said that the Mormon has a special handshake, a stronger handshake, a way that they do it. So technically you want to be in a vertical position, so the person that has the finger more up is trying to be superior, and the one that has the down inferior. So if you do a straight handshake and step back and let them watch them body language, you're watching them, but they're watching you as well. I never wear watches for work. Maybe because I don't like, but maybe it's because I don't want them to look at me and start, oh wow, this guy, what kind of watch is that? That's a Rolex, he's loaded, or that's a cheap watch. They're not. Oh, what about that white shoe? If you want to catch their attention, you want to do that by strategy. You want to be different, like Kenny. He dressed like that because he thinks it's a good thing. So that's why he does. It's not an accident, right? I think everybody should smile. I mean, all of you guys have nice smiles, right? And it makes a big difference when you do, especially when you are being strong with them. If you're being strong with them, smile. It's going to relax them. You can say pretty much anything you want. And people think that is because of my accent. I hear that all the time. Oh, you can say whatever you want because of your accent. Oh, Tony sells so much because he's Asian. I mean, come on, you know, there's a reason for it. And when we talk about body language, I think about Tony. When people think about, well, how come he's so successful? When I was new here, I sit on Patrick's office, and Tony obviously right across for years, right? So sometimes I had tours and then he'd go like this. And then, you know, as a salesperson, you always want to keep trying. And I tried. So he was wrong like 2 times, I think, but they both canceled. So the guy, he's an expert on body language. So, you know, I always look after him for that. Is you don't need to talk so much. So meet and greet, warm up, all that stuff. You're coming up, you make friends, you sit down, you talk to them. And now is the time that you talk about you. You can talk about your kid, your dog, and everything else. As you go to discover, you have to stop. You know, in my opinion, everything I'm saying here is just an opinion. So, you know, it's not rocket science or anything. It's just something that I noticed through the years here. A lot of people are trying to make a friend, and they think they're going to buy from you because they love you. You know, they're not going to buy from you if they don't like you, but they're going to easily tell you no. And you can ask Jaime, though, you go do surf lessons, what happened? They kicked, you know. You don't have to be that. And so the discovery, discovery is not a time for you to tell your stories about your dog and your kid. Discovery is the time for you to listen. It's for you to understand who's in front of you. That's the #1 thing you need to accomplish. Understand who is in front of you. You know, who is this guy? Why is he acting like that? Nobody's crazy. There's a reason why they act like that, if they're acting crazy. So you have to sit down, try to understand. Discovery is also not a time to sell. So, folks, have you been at client share presentation? Yes. Why you haven't bought it yet? Oh, I didn't buy because I don't like, because it's a week at a time and you have to check in, it's terrible. And then 90% of us, well, but we don't have that anymore. Please, we have a big gun here, a bazooka, and we're sticking bullets on it. We don't want to use any bullets before the war starts. So hold it tight. When they give you an angle, write it down. Make sure you don't forget, but there'll be a time to address that. Discover is the time to understand these people. It's about them, it's not about you. It's about create a game plan. It's about to understand why they have what they have. Why they own a Colina every other year? Why they own a Legends Edge in the middle of Panama City? You need to understand how the wigs were sold, you know, and I'm not going to go through that right now, but I can. Any one of you can come see me and I'll break down system, value, destinations, and then the Hawaii guy pay more, exchange with interval. You need to understand why people bought a Marriott Reward Points weeks, why they bought an exchange week, why they bought this, why they bought that. It's your time for doing that. Make them tell you vacation stories about them, not about you, about them. And if they're telling a vacation story, don't disturb them. That is the vibe you want. I was in France and it was so nice. I went underneath this and that and my husband. Why would you interrupt them? They are telling you a story that's getting them in the vibe of buying timeshare from you. So let them talk about their stories. Get them talk about their story. How did you meet? Okay, well, how was the honeymoon? I mean, nobody asked them that. You know what Corinne did, right? And then, talking about Corinne, that's one time I was struggling here a lot. Corinne is probably the wisest woman I know, and she helped me out here a lot when I needed. So one time I was struggling here, and I called her up and I said, Corinne, I have a question for you. Should I talk more about surfing with my owners? Because I really didn't. I had my pictures there, I talk a little bit, make nice, and then go straight to the business. It's not really my drag too much on that. Should I talk more and get them more, wow, this guy's different, talk about surfing, show my trophies, and then all that story. And she listened quietly, and then she asked me a question. She goes, Tiago, when you talk about surfing, how does that make you feel? You see how sharp she is? And instead of telling me something, she asked me a question. And the answer is good. I want this, I want that. It's good, makes me feel good. You don't want them, you don't want you to feel good. You want them to feel good. You don't want to talk about you. You want them to talk about themselves. People like to talk about themselves. And as much as you might feel that they love you so much because they just met you 10 minutes ago and you guys have a good going, they really don't care that much about your stories in the end of the day. They're trying to go through their 90 minutes. And please keep the presentation within 90 minutes. It's in your best interest to leave these people within some time that we can sit down and relax, right? So basically, Discover is putting gun on your bullets and elaborating your plan, basically. And then what you want to do is just keep throwing little nuggets in there. If they say thing, you repeat the last 3 words of what they say, and they elaborate more. Elaborate more. Tell me more, like Shirley said. Tell me more. You want to understand them, and then you move on, right? So one thing that you want to understand is what's their type of personality. We all should know that. What are people's type of personality? Are they analytical? Are they amiable? Is it a driver in front of you, or is it an expressive person? Why? You have an analytical guy in front of you, and you're talking about how much their kids are growing so fast, and how much life is only one, and we're all gonna die tomorrow. If the missile hit us, we wouldn't be here. That guy's gonna hate you for it. And he really will. He doesn't care about that stuff. He wanna know numbers. You can go a little bit, but you want to know numbers. You're talking with an amiable, and you go into a crazy economics, Shon Mochizuki style. He also gonna be, his eyes gonna go like this, and you're gonna see the glare on people's eyes if you watch them. If one thing that I can give you guys here today is to ask you to observe your clients. Observe them, watch them. Every time you take a break, you come back, you look at their feet. Their feet is the most honest part of your body. Because, the face, you can kind of mess the face. Like, the Japanese is an example. They grow up learning that if they show their emotions, that's a lack of manners. So they can fake their face quite easily. But their feet, they can't. So, your feet is the first thing that stops you when you go close to the cliff. It's not your eyes, your feet. You go like that. Your feet's the first thing that turns when you want to run. Right? It's the first thing that turns when you want to run. So when you go into the table and their feet are pointing the door, do you think you have anything? They want to run from you. And and everybody's like that. You go talk to Ashley, and then he has something in the middle of something crazy, and you start telling a story. His feet's going to be turning the way you want to run. He's talking to you like that. When I have someone in the table, when I get a text message, and I know I have nothing, but I want to grind for you guys. I want you guys to know that I try my best, and I don't want to ever hear that I did it. So I'm going, but then I get a message saying I need you, and I'm talking to this guy, and all of a sudden I see myself like that, like almost like out of the office talking to these people. My feet's up. If people don't love each other, they'll never touch their feet. Right? So watch their feet. The feet will tell you a lot. Like people that are happy, look at kids, they have happy feet, they move their feet. If you're talking on the phone and you move your feet up like that, it's for sure a positive thing. So watch their feet. That's the easiest way that you're going to figure them out. Right? A lot of the things coming from the one part of the brain, they call the limbic brain. which is responsible for your survival. Right, so if you throw a pen like that, oh, that's bad limbic brain.
Hey, I think back to you. Did you see that? Did you see that?
So that he didn't think about grabbing that pen. You know, it's too fast. That's his limbic brain that's responsible for your survival. That limbic brain is also responsible for your micro expressions. You know, there's major 7 micro expressions. I don't know if you guys ever watched the show Lie to Me. Alvaro told me, and I loved it. This guy's an FBI guy responsible for detecting lies, so he just go like that, right? And then but basically there are 7 micro expressions, and they happen in 3 seconds right after you say something. I mean, you don't need to be an expert on that, but happiness, dislike, anger, fear, sadness, surprise, and contempt. Contempt is the only one uneven. It's the one that irritates me the most in the table. It's the only time that I can't hold it to unleash the kraken and go like, brr, when I see the one little side going up like that smirk, you know, like, ah. That's the only uneven micro expression in the face. You know, like smile. If there's a fake smile don't move the side. Fake smile only move the bottom. So a real smile moves the whole face. But unless you ever done for the ladies Botox. I read a lot about Botox. It's funny. Botox kills all your micro muscles and your capability to do micro expressions, as well as your capability to interact with people. You know, so they say that your friendships and things like that could go south because of your lack of empathy with people. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I read that, right? So legs, same thing, legs, feet, you know, they're grouped together, obviously, but the legs is the same thing. We see a lot of people doing that. When they put their hands here, they want to fight you. They want to go for broke. They want to argue with you, right? So if they're like this, and then they go stretch their legs, you got them. If they go close to your table, you really got them, right? So watch what these people are doing. It's going to give you major clues. But when you do your discovery, one thing that I skip is you also watch what's their norm, because that's what FBI people do. They bring you in the room and they start asking you questions about how beautiful the day is, because they want to see how you're breathing and how your pattern is before they start asking you the hard questions, so they can see the change. You know, those things are going to get you so many deals, and it's going to short your presentation a lot if you start understanding people, right? And then for me, I believe that there is a time on your presentation right there where the 2 cars crash, right here. There's that time on your presentation where you have to poke them. You have to go for it. Like, you have to label their emotions the easiest way. And folks, it seems to me that you have some hesitation of owning with us. You know, an example, if we take anyone here, Jackie seems to be not enjoying my training right now.
I am.
You are? So she's going to do 2 things. Even she's going to say, no, you're wrong. I'm loving your training. I love your product. You're wrong. Or she's going to say, yeah, I don't like it because maybe the maintenance fees is too high. Either way, you're winning. You're uncovering the objections. There's nothing more important with owners than uncovering their objections. If you knew what their objections were when they come in, you would solve them in 10 minutes. The faster you uncover their objections, the faster you're going to know how to sell them, right? And one of the things you have to do, what is the number 1 objections for owners you guys got? Number 1, numero uno. Today, well, but that one we should deal with it well, based on a strong stand and the TO, right? What is the biggest objection? Maintenance fees. I mean, like, so you have to justify their purchase, in my opinion. Would you buy something from Marriott that it's a life sentence that you're going to have for the rest of your whole life? If you are not happy with that, would you buy more? I wouldn't. If you feel that the maintenance fees is a burden, would you come here and write a $40,000 check? I would. So unless they're saying, yeah, we're happy, and they're not amiables, which is people that avoid confrontation, and they seems to be easy to manipulate. They seems to be easy. Why? Because they, yeah, and on the end, bye, no. And you're like, what just happened? Right? There seems to be easy. So, you know, you just understand the people that's in front of you. I lost a little bit of train of thought. Let me look over here. So maintenance fees, we're talking about maintenance fees. So maintenance fees, I'll show you real quick. The only thing I'm writing on the board is the economics that I created. So didn't ever had a push on it, and I'll share with you guys. I think I got so many deals out of that. It's the most simple thing in the world, right? So I like to go online and go online and Google how much is the Marriott today. Show them. I don't know if you guys do. I see like Jeremy doing it. I was happy. Showing online how much was it. Wow, $884, 14% tax, maybe $120, $40 parking. Wow. Do you love your maintenance fees now? Not yet? Okay, let me show you. Oh, but we put all the money up front. Oh yeah, of course you did. So you go into, okay, rent versus own, right? Rent versus own. What are you doing here? Oh, you're doing a 7 nights, Paulina, 2 bedroom. Okay, there's 3 ways to do this. You can rent, you can own, you can stay home. Stay home's cheaper, costs no money, right? But that, if you're here today talking to me, we did one of this. So as a renter, you're gonna pay $7,000 plus. I mean, you guys can add that up. They're gonna be a little bit around that. You come here, you have 100% financial loss. So here's a great time for you to do a little emotional pitch. I say financial because it's finance, you hear, you get the best memories of your life, blah, 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 right? Okay, how much costs an owner? The owner has a deed, it's forever. It's 4,000 points, 4,050, okay, times 58 cents. I don't have a calculator just like some of you do, so let's just go 2,400, give or take, right? So, okay, so look at the difference here, right? There's a delta here, a savings, a difference here of this of $4,600. You're saving, you already used your maintenance fees. We say that your return of investment, another little pitch, well, this is not future money or value, present money or value, since you are spending 100% of what you're spending. Burning money in the front desk, that's from another book there that it's about hypnosis and this and that, but it basically talks about how you use your words. And instead of saying spend money on the front desk, you say burn money in the front desk. You picture the money burning. Use words like clearly you understand all of this. Their brain's going to fill out the blanks of why they understand. You don't need to say why is clear, why is obvious. So that book's really good, Unlimited Selling Power. So you go, your ROI should be within 8 vacations. So even if I'll make you love your maintenance fee because I'll prove it to you that even if you sell your deed for $1, it's still a good deal. Do you believe that, sir? No. Okay, so you take that times 8, it's going to be the price of your deed. You take 8 vacations and then you go 6 to 8 vacations, you're going to pay for your deed forever. And now you own, and for the rest of your life, you're going to give me $1 on Christmas time, Merry Christmas, and they all laugh when you say it because we all know that Christmas time is a bad time to pay. Nobody likes to pay the maintenance fees. But there's not a cheaper way to travel this well. You're going to go Waikiki, you're going to pay $37.50 resort fee, $45 parking, 14% tax, $10 internet, and $250 for the room. You're going to pay about $3,000 to be in a room as big as this, while you can pay $2,400 to be in a 2-bedroom. Is that a better way to do this, folks, than your maintenance fee? Are you going to pop a champagne next Christmas time when you get that bill? Love your maintenance fees, make their love of maintenance fees. There's no better thing if you give us $1, we give you 3 to 5 back every single year for the rest of your life. Do you know about anything else that will give you this sort of return? Make them love their maintenance fees and move on. Don't open this door if you don't have to. If we're so happy and they're not amiables, you could just go on, but you have to watch them again and see if the maintenance fees will be a problem, especially if you're thinking about a bundle. A bundle has $1,000 more a year for the rest of your life maintenance fees. You don't want to sell a bundle with someone that's complaining about their maintenance fees. So just watch them on that. Any questions here? Any thoughts? Can I raise it? Go ahead.
When they challenge you with the other vacation home rental being expensive, like your beach villas, you rent it for $2,500, same as maintenance fee, but no offer cost.
Good question. Well, beach villa is not $2,500. It's more, but let's say it is $2,500. Well, would you do you own a home, Jackie? If you don't mind me asking, would you rent your home for about 40% less than you pay your mortgage right now? Yeah, exactly. You know why? Because you want to be an owner. You don't want to pay rent for the rest of your life. That has never an end. So it goes back to Greg's economics. He makes a ball like this, a circle, and he start drawing like dollar signs and say, wow, in the last 20 years, folks, you did $2,500 for beach villas. That was a good deal. Then maybe I bet that one day you'll say, I'm going to be in a very nice hotel 5-star, and you spend a big one, didn't you? Sometimes little, sometimes big. But in 20 years, how much money have you spent for nothing? Cheap rent's cheap rent, period.
Yeah, I also deter it to experience.
Huh?
I deter it to, or whatever the word is. Experience. Because then I use maybe a third-party story and just say, you know, I've had owners that have tried it out over there before, and it's great, you know, but it's not here. You know, it doesn't have the pools, it doesn't have the fun, it doesn't have all the amenities, it doesn't have the energy, it doesn't have, you know, what is it you're looking for? You know, I just kind of, because you can't compete. Basically, I see it as a non-compete. I really do. It's really like not here.
You kind of have to put them in the long-term frame of mind. I mean, obviously, if they just want to rent 1 year and burn their suitcases, then yeah, that's better. And you tell them that. That's better if you want to do 1 vacation. But if you want to do 8, right? Sorry,
Tiago, is this more of a scenario you'd use on owners?
Yeah, this is only owners I'm talking about. Yeah, mainly owners. You can do first-time buyers this if they're spending money here and you have a rental rebate they're doing, you know, well, then you can kind of show them that. But it's mainly for owners, is just make them understand that their maintenance fees is the best way to do it. And you know, and I pay $2,500 a year maintenance fees. Honestly, I think you guys should buy a timeshare. You really should. Those that want to stay here for at least 10 years with me, you should buy a timeshare, because it changes a lot how you present. You know, I know that a lot of you already use our properties, and that's awesome. You're gonna get a lot more sales by using our properties and telling them and painting the picture of everything. But you should own a cheap week. You will pay the maintenance fees. You will understand how things work. You do some rentals here and some this and that. And when you tell people something, they will trust you even more. Right? Any questions here? I'm kind of getting into.
Another question.
Go ahead.
So body language, so when they bring like extra people that are not related to their tour, you can clearly tell it's like defensive vacation, right? But then they try to use them as like
it's called the third baseman.
So my recommendation from that's not mine. It's from Corinne too. When I was new, one time she told me that, and I took. When you have a quinella, they always you're exactly right. They are there to get you off your game. Most 95% of the time. Randy got 2 deals out of quinella the other day. It happens, but you want to get one out. You really want to get one out.
I tried, but then the guys insist that they need their weapon.
Sure, but you gotta be smooth about it. You're like, okay, let me go down. Are you guys interested? You guys interested in what? You are interested. Okay, then you close the stronger. You know, it's hard to kick them out if they really don't want to go. Yeah. Right? You can only do so much.
Yeah. You know, I have a great, what I say is they come up like that, I say, you know, I find out if they're interested or not interested, and I say, unfortunately, the way this is set up is a disservice to you, because I don't like to bounce back between 2 sets of couples or 2 people. So if you'd like to schedule something to come back, you know, in the future where we can work one-on-one, I'd be happy to meet with you this afternoon. You flesh that out real quick, because it's a disservice to you not to focus on you and have to go back and forth between the 2 of you.
So I tried that,
so,
and they went downstairs to speak with the marketers, and they said nope, you're with them, so they sent the word back.
Well then, that's
so
I mean, there will be those, but you know, I'll tell you this much, Jackie.
That's an internal thing.
In 50 tours, it's going to happen maybe 2 or 3, like what happened to you that they're showing. If you're strong with them like you are, and I mean, I like Brad's style for owners. It cracks me up. I never forgot a quick story that he walks like ahead of them, which, you know, to build rapport, you guys should walk the same pace of your owners to your room. Same pace. If they're like really slow, you go really slow. Well, you should try to, in the first 10 seconds that you meet someone, you should try to keep their tone and their body language similar to them, just a little bit to create the rapport. But Brad was walking in front of them, and they caught up, and then turns around, he goes like, didn't you guys have anything better to do in a Christmas Eve than coming a sales presentation? Like, just like that, and I'm like, whoo! And then like 20 minutes later, I see him with the bag and the cuckoo nuts, and I'm like, oh my God. So being strong with people is okay. He doesn't.
You have to be tactful. It has to be fun and tactful. You can't insult them.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Being strong with them is okay, but you have to do it in a respectful manner. How he does it with a smile. You know, the smile helps a lot. You can tell people crazy things and smile at them, and they'll be okay with it. And you watch their body language. Everybody thinks I push them far because of my accent, and I think it's funny. But it's basically because I'm watching them. I see at what point I can push and at what point they're gonna break. You know, there's a time that I know that if I say one more word, there many times I had a table yesterday. I knew that if I say one more word, they'll blow up. One more word that he was like, they were both like ready to, you know, and then I stopped. But I pushed them all the way until the moment I thought they were gonna collapse. And you guys should do that a lot. Neil.
I think best body language that I've seen in timeshare is when you first show the price. If they lean in, you got a chance. If they're like this when you show the prices, they never buy. That one's incredible.
When they're too relaxed, it's a bad thing. So a lot of times they cross arms for most books you're gonna read. They're gonna talk as that is being really bad, right? So there's the thumbs up like that. That's even worse. They think they're better than you, and there's the ones that they squeeze here and they're really nervous. But for our business, it's actually not. It's just an opinion here. I didn't write no books, but when they're like relaxed, they know they're not gonna spend the money. When you get them too close, that means that you now went a little bit into their pocket. Now they're like, right? So you want to create emotions. With owners, you want to create emotions. You want to create a problem, get them mad, and solve the problem. You need to be able to handle when they get mad. And that's what's going to get you deals with owners. You know, you need to push them. On first-time buyers, you don't have to. You can do a cookie corner presentation. With owners, you can't. You really can't. You know, I always try not to open my board until I had a plan. You don't need to go like A to Z the same time with an owner. If all they care is about staying 2 weeks in a one bedroom, really, you sell them that, you know, 2 weeks in a one bedroom. So you focus on really what so basically, in the beginning, a summary, in the beginning, you do report, you're nice, you're fluffy, blah, 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 I'm nice, you are my story, you know, I was in the moon, I looked down, and all I saw was Marriott Hotels. I came work here because when I born, my dad used Marriott reward points for my, whatever story you want to make while you're here, have a story of why you're here. You have to be an owner. If you're not an owner, be an owner. Lie, sorry, you're gonna have to. If you need my ownership login to go and show reservation and stuff, I'll let anybody use it, please. So, but be an owner. Don't tell them you're not an owner. I mean, would you buy for $40,000 from somebody that's selling you something and they don't even own? I mean, it just doesn't really help, right? And if you can afford it, I think you can. One paycheck will get you to pay a week off by week, you know? Any more questions or thoughts? Thank you guys for jumping in, you know, and helping out and stuff. Anybody else want to say anything about owners and any add-on into the presentation? Let me see if I had anything else that I wanted to talk about.
I told you Tiago's good.
Thank you.
You know, one of the things that he mentioned that I think is really, you know, just observing people that are very, very successful people like Tony, in Orlando, Florida, along the years that I sell timeshare, I noticed that it's always about, you know, they treat it, it's always about the customer, not about us.
Yes.
So when I liked that he was humble enough to understand early that it was not all about his surfing. Because I asked Lloyd Pace, for example, an Indian guy that I never seen, a phenomenal, how that guy sell owners the way he does it. So the quickness he does, you know, is amazing. And Lloyd Pace, you know, what I learned from him, and it was just looking how he was treating the customers, you know. And he always said, what do you do to sell the customers so fast? That's what really intrigued me. And all the time, like Tony, he said, I pump their balloon. I make them feel that they are so special and so big, and I'm nothing. And my job over there is to say, you know, a man of your caliber. Even when they're ugly, you know, I tell their wives, if I was a woman, you'll be in trouble. because you have a handsome husband. He lies, even lie, but people like, but people not seriously. People love to be pumped, so pump their balloon. That like he said, he learned from Corinne. I never met the woman. It's not about us how good we serve. It's about them, not about us. And thank you for bringing that.
It's one of the things. There's one of these books, The Closers, and the guy has a theory about the third eye in the room. So it's great for us because we take breaks. So he said that at one point or two in your presentation, you should stop and take yourself out the room and look inside to you, them, what is the interaction, what's going on, what are they thinking about me, what I think about them, and then try to empathize with their situation, what's good for them. So it really is not about us. People feel good to talk about themselves. Everybody does. So we need to, and as soon as you enter in Discovery, I think you should stop the fluffing, and just go for broke. Discovery, you get any information, you make them talk. Can you tell me more? What about this? What about that? Tell me more. Quiet. Don't. And then you just change. I would do my intent with my urgency. So we didn't talk about intent. Intake statement for owners, for years I didn't do it. So I bet a lot of you don't because they know and this and that, and you don't really. So the intake statement for owners have to be different. You have to put it in a way there. I went through my urgency pitch with price increases and minimum increases and level increases and IOG and this and that. So folks, you know how we do business. You have to do business right now. We're going to give you the world to push you over the edge to do it today. We don't negotiate. You have to do now, but you're going to buy today because of that. Because if you're ever going to buy, you buy now, you don't buy later. So in the middle of your urgency, you throw the intent statement there for owners. You guys will help yourself to get deals and us to get deals for you if the statement it's done. And a lot of times we see a push, but you guys know, you tell us it will be a push, and then we go there and we try to observe them and figure out if that push is real or not. Is it really that, or is just a smokescreen? Or is just a no polite because they got to love you guys because you're so nice and they don't want to tell you no. But that's a disservice. So you come in, the presentation was so good. I'll give you $1 for anybody that I sell here that I come into the office and they start with, let me tell you something. This person here is amazing. He's the best one we ever had. This is the most informative presentation I ever had. I feel like standing up and saying, thanks for your time. So, and if you guys want, I took honors for 2 years only honors. I for some reason, I loved it, and it was what I did. And if you guys need any questions, any help, or anything that I can do, I'm not very good on knocking people's door and saying, look, can I help you on something? But if you come to me, I'll teach you everything I know. I just teach my economics that I believe is the best, and I never had a push. And I actually created that. When I was a sales guy, I would hide that, So now, and I hope get you guys deals. So I don't know, any questions, anything else to add?
Well done, my friend.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tiago.
Oh, there's some Marriott fans here for you guys.
Thank you.
Nice job, Keith.
Thank you.
Thank you.